Hello, hello, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z. I'm Linda Gibbs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Canada. Welcome to my live. If you're here watching, say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. If you're new here, I do my live every Wednesday at noon Mountain Time. It's called Stamping A to Z because it started out as walking you through all of our products from A to Z. It has kind of progressed to, we've gone past A to Z and just keep on going because there's always new and old products that we have to pull out and see new ways of using them. So my goal in this is to inspire you to pull out the stuff that you have and just start crafting and have fun. It all started during COVID when it was just kind of a nice therapy to craft. And I thought, you know what, there's people sitting at home, crafting at home, and maybe at lunchtime, crafting at home, working from home. And then this was kind of a lunchtime break thing. So hopefully it entertains you or it gives you inspiration to get crafting. Either way, hopefully you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please share. Or if you have friends that don't have Facebook but still you think would like to watch, I do post my videos over on YouTube, and I am hoping to start either double streaming or doing one live on YouTube and one live on Facebook. I just haven't gotten there yet. So anyways, hello Linda, I'm gonna turn around and we're gonna get started because it's already the end of January, so we're halfway through celebration and I haven't really spotlighted any of our celebration items. I kind of have in some of my projects, but today we're gonna play with a lot of the celebration items. And I was gonna say something else, but I lost it. Anyways, let's get turned around. And hopefully, sorry, my clip doesn't want to, I have to do it from the top. And then, hello Yolande. Nice hand view there. I really have to get a better technology for flipping around, but I got what I got. Oops, wrong social media here. You gotta pull up Facebook, make sure I'm on there. Obviously, you guys found me, so obviously I'm on there, but I would like to see comments as we go. So here we are. Hopefully I'm guessing I'm going to freeze up as usual, but you know, one can always hope. So, celebration. Now, I didn't want to speculate because I didn't know for sure. And this one's such a good one. I didn't know if they were going to do it this year. So in the past, during celebration for the second month, they bring out more products for people to order from. And sometimes they come out of the annual catalog, the mini catalog, and they become free items that you can earn instead of purchasing them. So I was going to speculate that possibly there might be some new stuff on top of this coming out, but I didn't think there was because this is such a really good, there's a really good variety in here. However, someone spoiled it for me, someone in New Zealand, because, you know, they're a day ahead, and they've posted that there are some new products. So I can't say I couldn't find it on our system, obviously, because we're a day behind. So February 1st, I'll try and post on social media what those items are, and so you can see. But these ones are pretty darn awesome, and this is what I'm showcasing today. So it goes till the end of February, so you've got some time. It is while supplies last though, so that is where it's coming from. So I'm gonna start with I'd gotten the watermelon, because you know when you spend enough you end up getting almost something free of each thing. So I pretty much, I think, have one of everything, but the watermelon I hadn't played with, and it's a really cool distinctive stamp, I think is what you would call it, right? It doesn't, well, they don't call it distinctive, but no. Anyways, It's just a cool stamp. And I didn't realize at first, but it does punch perfectly with our modern oval punch. If you have it, great. If not, it's on back order, and I think it's on back order till like March. So sucks if you, it's super easy to cut out though, and you're gonna end up cutting out the slices if you want to cut them out anyway. So you know, it's all good. Just I didn't know, and it was kind of cool that it did. So let's actually, no, that is not the card I'm starting with. Let me just flip you through here. The sunny days. Oh, I froze. Oh, no, I hope I don't lose you like last week. There was a problem in the neighborhood and the entire power went out. So that's why I lost you last week. I'm hoping it doesn't happen this week. I am frozen on my screen, but that is somewhat normal and my comments keep coming. So hopefully we are okay. And I can't stream using my data because my cell service in my craft room is horrible. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. Anyways, if I start having issues. There's the Sunny Days Designer Series paper, which is lots of fun. It coordinates with our Bright Skies. Oh, I think I put it away. No, did I? Oh, yes, I did. I was gonna use this as one of my showcases, but I'm using this in our club, monthly club. It gets green periodically. Oh, weird. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to, maybe my booster or something is not connected anymore. So here's the papers. I've used them. I used them with the coordinating Bright Skies. I also used, so apparently the hexagon punch is back ordered as well. This cute hello is from the Heartfelt Hellos, which is another celebration stamp set. This stamp set is an awesome sentiments stamp set, especially for this time of year. It has Mother's Day, it has Father's, it has Valentine's, it has Easter. It just has a little bit of everything. So that's where that, and so these papers are all from that free Sunny Days paper set. So it has clouds, and these clouds match the dies from the Bright Skies, so can be cut out with that. But our monthly club, we are going to play with this one. Oh, sorry, I bumped my camera. So you will get to see more of that when we do our club this month. We have the Flight and Airy, which I really like the colors, but I didn't really think that much of it at first, but I really like it, and we will be playing with this today. There's a Cradled in Love, great baby set if you don't have a lot of baby stuff. I know I don't have a lot of baby stuff because my kids are older. So, you know, it's nice to have a freebie. Then we've got the Softly Stippled Designer Series paper, which I just noticed it's not back ordered, but it's not gone. It's back ordered. It says till February 5th. Early February it'll be back. Which I was kind of like, because I am hoping to do a class, a use up your entire pack of Designer Series paper class using the matching Stippled Rose bundle, which it's not here yet. I have it on order, and then I started kind of thinking about the design and stuff when I was away this weekend. So I'm not using that today because I'm going to use that for a whole class. This one I used, it's beautiful, beautiful paper. It has the gold foiling, great for Valentine's. I used it in our club, and I've used it in some of my lives. So we're skipping over. Here's the stamp set that I mentioned, and it works well with the hexagon punch, which is back ordered. And then there's this, I ran out of time. I would have loved to showcase everything, but I ran out of time. So there's this beautiful Tools Designer Series paper set that goes with the trusty tools bundle. So if you've got some guys in your family or even girls, I've seen some great cards you can do with that stuff. And then this one is so cute. I'm not going to showcase it today because it would take me too long. Like I would need to do one, especially for this card. But I did make a card because I wanted to play with it. And oh my gosh, it's so cute. So these are two separate sets. This one with $60 purchase, you can get the stamp set. And then with the dies are separate. And that you get for free with a $120 purchase. It is a big set of dies, which is why I'm guessing it's under the $120. So if you spend $180, you can get both. And you can make the cutest cards with it. Oh, it's just, I love how it turned out. I'm super stoked. Anyways, that one was too many dies and too many colorings, and I just thought that's going to take too long. You guys are going to get bored of me coloring. So anyways, that's that one. Then there's this beautiful, softly sophisticated bundle. I love, love, love this embossing folder, which we are using today. And I just realized I forgot to pull out my Big Boss. I didn't, well, I used the sentiment out of this today, but I do have a card. It's a really fun stamp set to use. You get to like stamp the vines and then the flowers fit into it and stuff. So it's fun to play with that way. The ribbon is one of the freebies that you can earn. And then there's this beautiful detailed dogwood, which I am going to start with today. So we're starting at the back of the catalog, but that's okay. And I didn't use it, but if you notice, it has this little flower, and this flower matches the Petal Park Builder Punch that we have. So if you have that punch, it'll punch out this little flower for you. So just a note for that. All right, let's start with our detailed dogwood. And it's got lots of fun, like kind of background kind of stamps, or if you like kind of the junk journaling or the, what do you call it? Oh, I can't think of the word. Anyways, it's fun to use. I tried to paint my nails because, you know, everybody always has nice, I hate long nails. I will never get fake nails. But everybody always has pretty nails when they do these lives and stuff. So I tried, and then I'm good with one layer. It dries fast. It's easy. I tried to put a second layer on, and then it kept peeling. And then my nail polish remover is old and almost out. And oh my gosh. So my nails don't even look pretty. I shouldn't have even said anything. They don't even look like they're painted, really. They just have a sparkle to them. So I can see it. I don't think anyone else can. It's all good. Hopefully you don't notice the messiness, because, you know, as I'm like putting on my sweater, it like totally, I didn't wait long enough is my issue. Okay, let's get on with it. You don't need to know about the nail issues of life. Okay, so I included a piece of the Nature Sweetness. This is from the Nature Sweetness Designer Series paper, which is out of the mini that's available right now. It's got one side with lots of fun prints as usual, and then the other side has the gold foiling in it. And I love the kind of, this is the word I couldn't think of. I don't know what you call that. Not junky back. What do you call? Anyways, okay, moving on. My words are not coming to me. Then I've got the detailed dogwood here, and I had a stamp here. So the colors, like this, the words are written with Pebbled Path. So I chose the matching ink. I asked my doctor when I was there last time, I said, I'm really losing my words. Like, I'm a little bit worried. And he's like, has anyone else in your household noticed? And they said no. Or I think I asked my husband and he said no. But I live with a bunch of boys, and how are they going to notice? But kids usually are pretty mean and they'll tell you. And I can tell you, these days, they've been mentioning it a lot. They're like, Mom, you're getting bad. I'm like, yeah. So maybe I have to go back to him now and say, see, it's not just me. Because he said, as long as it's just you, it's just you. But when other people start mentioning it, it's not a good sign. So, not a good sign. Anyways, I have to start. Well, I always thought it was I have really tight muscles everywhere, and part of it is into my jaw and into my mouth. So I just figured I was getting tongue-tied, and so I started doing more kind of jaw exercises and stuff, and the person I go to for raw things, she works in my mouth and stuff, and that helped. But I just feel like it's, I don't know, maybe it's in my brain. Okay, so this is Pebble Path. I used Pebble Path instead of, I think pecan pie is kind of the brown that goes best with the Pebble Path. I think that's what is part of this designer series paper, but I decided to keep it all in the grays. So, and once again, see, I said I didn't do the Jungle Pals because it was too much coloring. So there is coloring in this one, but I'm keeping it to a minimum. You'll see. I'm not going to color the whole thing, so I don't bore you. So this is the light Old Olive that I'm using here. And I could go in with the dark to kind of give it some more texture, but I think for the sake of videos, we will just keep it with the light and leave it as is. Because otherwise my videos get kind of long, and I'm sure you guys don't need to. Hopefully you're crafting or doing something while you're watching, so you're not like, oh, hurry it up. Okay, so then I pulled in Moody Mauve. Oh, I didn't even state like the most important part of celebration, which is it is the best time of year for a deal on our starter kit. So I did go through that one because, oops, I forgot one of the leaves. Part of the starter kit, the offering, is the glass mat with the silicone tray and the chamois that I was just using. That comes for free with your $135. Or if you don't want a glass mat because you already have one or you just don't want one, that's okay too, because you can forego the glass mat. Although if you don't have one, I would strongly recommend you get one. It's a game changer. And you can forego the glass mat and you can get an extra, I think it's, instead of the $165 worth of products that you get to choose, you would get, what am I doing? $205. Okay, my Wink Stella, for some reason, does not want the cap, just wants to come off with it. And I don't know what's going on with this color. It's like totally lightening up big time, is it? I was hoping the Wink Stella would kind of pull the color out with it, but I think it only works with the water-based, not with blends. So if you wanted to, you could pick up some color, like if you have the ink pad or the refills, you could kind of do some watercoloring with your Wink Stella and just kind of go with it, but that's going to not. kind of blend it out a little bit like that, if you wanted to. Anyways, that's just an option. It actually does look kind of cute, but again, for the purpose of video, we will leave it as is. So that's the flowers there. Then there's this cute, if I can find it, this cute stamp that's in the stamp set. We'll use our pebbled path. And I also didn't realize until I started playing that we have a coordinating punch. So the best label punch that goes with that little alphabet set that we have, it punches out that little cute label. And then I wanted the, where is it? The hello there from the Softly Sophisticated stamp set, which is another freebie for celebration. I'm just going to come down here because, and I have a straight edge. I only have to cut one straight edge. My cheater's sense of life here. Okay, hopefully I haven't frozen up because I'm not seeing anything, but hopefully you're just being quiet. Quiet's okay. Technical difficulties, not so good. Okay, so then I like to cut up the middle. Oh, see, that's not even the middle. The middle would be here. And then it makes for an even kind of tail. Do you guys do that? Or do you use a punch? I use a punch a lot of the time. Pure laziness, maybe perfectionist tendencies, I don't know. But yeah, that's my go-to. And I'll take a couple of dimensionals, pop that up. But before I do that, I may as well stick it down. So I pre-cut a piece, a scalloped piece from our, what are they called? Scalloped Contours dies. And then I was debating, so maybe this is where you guys can chime in. The little punch came from the annual catalog. And I'm pretty sure you have it, Linda. It goes with the alphabet stamp set. I'm just trying to find my annual catalog so I can. It's called Best Label. So you can find it at the back with all the punches here. So it's here. And there's that Park Builder punch that goes with. I don't know. The one thing I don't like with the punches is it doesn't say where the coordinating set is. So, oh, here it is. So the alphabet is meant to be cut out with that punch. So I think in the previous catalog it was bundled and now it's separate, but yeah, that's where that came from. Hopefully that was the one you meant. All right, so I had this dilemma and I was debating between the Pebbled Path or Whisper White. Is it? No, it's called Basic White now, isn't it? I can't remember. Now I'm second guessing myself. So then I've got my designer series paper. So let's put this part together and then you can help me decide where it should go. So glue this down. And then I tried to cut it just slightly smaller than where this kind of the dots are, so you can kind of see the dots. It looks very much framed. And then we'll put a bit of glue here. I don't know, it's kind of, I don't know what's supposed to go with it. Like, are you supposed to put a number in it? I'm just leaving it blank, but I think something should go there. I just haven't figured out what. If you have any ideas, you can always let me know. Okay, so here's, oh, we gotta add some gems, something. So I decided to use these adhesive backed speckle dots. I think they're in the annual catalog. I hope they're not retired. I forgot to check. They are newer, so I think, I'm pretty sure they're still around. Hopefully they're still around. Okay, now we got our bling. We've got our basic. Now, do I put it on Pebbled Path, or do I put it on white? So the card I made, my sample, is on Pebbled Path, and this one is on the white. What do you think? Which one do you prefer? Do you prefer either? Do you like either? Pebble Path. Yeah, I think it pops more, right? Okay, let's stick with Pebble Path. That's what I thought. That's kind of the way I went, but you know, you never know. I wasn't sure at first, and then I think it does pop more with the Pebble Path. Okay, we'll set all that aside. Now we'll move on to our watermelon. Watercolor watermelon. And they call it watercolor watermelon. Watercolor watermelon. Because it kind of stamps looking like watercolor, but you can also give it even more of a watercolor look by spritzing it with water. Okay, let me just grab my Big Boss quickly so we can run that one through. I don't know why I didn't. I was gonna magic of television run it through, and I don't know why I didn't. So let's just do that quickly. We've got our base. We've got our cardstock. And then we need, so this is the embossing folder, Softly Sophisticated, that goes with the Softly Sophisticated stamp set. Okay, why is everything named with like double S's? See Sally stamp. Holy cow. Okay. This is a rough day. I gotta do my tongue twister exercises before starting these things. Okay, I just wiped it with, and you can see it's curling. I wiped it with a baby wipe to give it some moisture, because I find it just holds the embossing much better, and it also takes away the chances of it kind of tearing or buckling, and it just allows the fibers to bend and tear, but not tear in a bad way, if that makes sense. So that is always a good practice to somehow either spritz. I liked, I can't remember where I picked up the baby wipe thing, but so as soon as you run it through, it straightens it out anyway, so it's not like it's going to be all warped because you wet it. So yeah, you can spritz, or you can, and I'm gonna, in my next card, I'll have to remember to spritz, because I'll show you what happens when you don't. Okay. Then we've got, oh, hopefully this is my stamping paper, since it was kind of got some color on it. And then I need to find my watermelons. Oh, I already took them out. Okay, so we've got our watermelons. We'll just set this aside for now. Then we need some Granny Apple Green for the big watermelon. We're going to use Flirty Flamingo for our inside with a bit of sweet sorbet. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the sweet sorbet. Flirty Flamingo. Then I'm going to stamp it off, which I might want to stamp off twice if you're doing it on the glass mat because it doesn't pull off as much ink as it does if you're stamping off on paper. And then I'm going to find my sponge dauber here, and I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a bit of sweet sorbet. Then I could just stamp it, but I'm going to spritz it, which I didn't take it out, with a bit of water. Sorry, I'm going to go off screen. So it's got a bit of water on there, and then I'm going to stamp it down. And I don't think I got quite enough water on there, but it'll still give it kind of a watercolory look. You can see, so if the more water you have, the more water look you have. Let's just see if it'll, yeah, good enough. Okay, so that's my watermelon piece, and I'm going to let it dry before I add the seeds to it, because otherwise you'll get like these washed, funny looking seeds. Then for the watermelon, I'm simply going to ink up my watermelon, spritz it again off camera so I don't get ink everywhere. I'm going to stamp that down. And you're probably going to be like, but you're losing all the detail. But watch, I will show you. If you lose too much, oh, see, I didn't even, what the heck? It didn't even ink up. Huh. That's okay. This is where I must need to re-ink see, it's not even, I must have something. Look, the stamp isn't even inking up. That's really weird. That's really strange. Okay, I'm going to clean this off because maybe there's something weird. I don't know what would be preventing the ink from going on there. Let's see. Let's try this again. If we go, yeah, it looks like it inked up here. Okay, let's spritz this. Okay, now I made a really big mess of it. That's okay. You can make a big mess of it. Because you know how watermelons, they have like kind of the light green and the darker green. Okay, giving it a good smush. And I'm hoping it soaks in enough. This would be better if I used some thick, actually this is thick white, or even watercolor paper, because I did put quite a bit of water. So here I'm probably, I got a big blotch of nothing. So you're like, okay, now what? Now hit it with your heat tool, just to, and you can also pick up, now let me grab, this might be why I didn't notice it in my other one. You can blot up some of the excess water. Okay, and I know it's not even in the shape of the watermelon. I should have gone over this one, but that's okay. I didn't want it to be so wet. Then you can come back, ink up your watermelon, and go back over with dry ink. It's not dry, but you know. And then you get that watermelon look, and it, to me, this looks much more realistic than if I just stamped, here, let me just stamp the watermelon itself. Tell me what your thoughts are. But to me, this is too, like, too grainy. And maybe my ink pad's dry and maybe that's why it's grainy, but I don't know. To me, it needs the water. You could, so the other option is you can take your water painter, oops, not the fat water painter, that one wouldn't work so good. You can take just a water painter and get some water out. And then just kind of soften it up that way. So that's another option. If you like the control and you don't want all these kind of crazy edges, you could go through and get it softer that way. And then it kind of loses all that graininess from the stamp. So either one works. I will show you. I'll just punch out the one that's a messy blob, because that's okay that it's a messy blob. Because now if you're having to fussy cut because you don't have the modern oval punch, that's a different story. It makes it harder to punch. Ooh, that's still very wet. You can see it tore the paper. Make sure it's dry. Maybe I'll have to use, sorry, I'm gonna have to use this other one because boy, that really tore. I just, I didn't want to waste your time and sit there drying it. But if you're making this yourself, take the time, dry it nicely, right? Don't rush it. Okay. But now this one's wet too. So we'll go do the sentiment and then I'll come back and punch this when I'm ready. Okay? And we'll see. Yeah, this one is like super, super wet. Okay, let's set this aside. Set this aside. Set these aside. Let me wipe my watermelons here so that we don't get color on our stuff. Then we want, I've die cut this black, and it looks like it has funny stuff on it. It's the anti-static powder. So I'm just about to put more. This is the Nested Essentials dies. So I die cut that for you. And we will come back. Now, if you don't want to get like a puff of white, especially on your darker paper, you can tap it off on something first, and then, but really, I just try and get it everywhere, and then it kind of evens out, and then you can wipe it off after. To me, it's not. I'd rather have not white speckles everywhere than a little bit of the powder on there. Then we need the Enjoy Your Day, which is from the Heartfelt Hellos, which is in the celebration. And I need some Versamark and some white embossing powder. Okay, don't you love my dirty... The Versamark is back ordered right now too. So hopefully you don't need any of that. I have my two old... I had a few extras of these and I sold them off. They weren't mine, technically. I should have just... Anyways. I should have kept more. You can never have too many of those things. Anyways, got that going. That was a long, long time ago. Get your white nice and good. If you want to get the extras off, just come in with a brush. Try and get that off. Then we're gonna heat it up. I should have As usual, my heat tool is not nice and warm, so we'll just get it heated up here. Maybe we'll hit our watermelon while we're at it. And our watermelon slice. And you could stamp, so again, you could come back and stamp the full watermelon again if you wanted it darker. And if you do it while it's still a bit wet, it'll kind of bleed a little, which is, I think, is a good thing, because I don't think you want that kind of computery, digitally, like, what do you call it? The pixels. Like, to me, it's really pixely. So there we've got our Enjoy Your Day embossed with white embossing powder. And then we just have to put it together. If we, I feel like this, oh, this is still very wet. Let's give this a good blast of heat. And I love that the glass mat is heat resistant, because I did this on the black mat that I used to use and it all bubbled up. Like, oops, guess that's not heat safe. Okay, so now that's quite dry. So I'm not going to stamp it again because it is quite dry and we're just trying to move on. Hopefully let me just punch this one to get the extras from my first punch off. Okay, and then we've got our watermelon, and then we're gonna cut out, fussy, oh, I almost forgot to put my seeds on here. So this is dry. So then we come in with our cute little, there's a group of 3 seeds, and then there's one that has a single seed, so you can, depending what your preference is for seeds. I don't love, like, I love seedless watermelon. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to use the seeds, but I think it looks cute. Oh, and you know what else I forgot? I forgot to stamp the base of the watermelon. Silly me. Okay, here's the base. And when I first did this, I came right up and I was trying to get it on, and then I realized, wait a minute. There's white in between the base, like the pulp, the skin and the pulp. So then I realized it's okay if I leave some white space. This is going to be tight. I think I left too much white space, a little bit too much. That's okay. This is okay. We've got a mega pulp. Then we just fussy cut this out with our little bite. There's one with a bite mark and one without, so you can, depending on your project. There we go. Okay, this was quite the messy go. All right, then we've got a black card base. I haven't been using black a lot lately, and I really like this with the white and the pink and the black. Like it just pops. And then we've got our, oh, see, I didn't glue it down while it was nice and flat. If you glue it down right away after you run it through, then it stays nice and flat, or put a block on it or something. But I just set it aside and it decided it needed to curl. So this is where I would probably glue it, and then I would set my big put it away. But I would normally set this, let it as I'm doing this other stuff, and then I would have a nice straight sheet, but it should stay. And then on there like that. See, this is why I like glue, because then I can reposition things when I don't get it straight the first time, but that's okay. I don't know what the best way would be to like get the white powdery substance off. I just kind of tend to try and rub it so it looks fairly even. I wonder if rub it on your clothes, that'll fix it. You could pop this up, which is probably the best, easiest way to stick it down, because you just have those few kind of raised edges on there, but I'm doing it the hard way. So again, you might want to, maybe I'll put a block on this, and then you can just put some dimensionals on here and put it as you wish, and then the finished card, through the magic of television, has your watermelon, and here I've got quite a bit more seeds. And then these embellishments are, oh, I can't remember. Did I write it down? I did not. And usually I keep out the embellishments I'm going to use, and I thought, oh, I did have them out. Here they are. Tinsel Gems 4-pack. They are in the annual catalog. They can be found, and that is what I used for here. I think this might be Moody I wish they would put the colors on the back of their, it's in the catalog and it tells you what these colors are, but I figured it was close enough. It works. So that's the next card. Then, isn't that cute? I like that one. Now comes the Flight and Airy paper. I will show you. So this card I made super fast, and I didn't think you needed me to show you how to make this one. I just cut up a couple pieces of designer series paper from the Flight and Airy designer series paper. I stamped the Sending You Lots of Loves and Hugs, which is in the mini catalog with the hexagon punch. I used the, I think they're from the opposite package of this. There's 2 packages like this in the annual catalog. I think that's where those ones are from. I don't totally remember. And this ribbon is no longer, it's retired, but it's the Fresh Freesia, which matches. So I just made that one super. This is a super fast card to make, right? Sentiment, embellishments, paper. Super quick and easy. My next one, however, takes a bit more time, but I think it's well worth it. So I'll just show you some of the paper here. This is some beautiful, like it's kind of the perfect wedding paper. Like, isn't this pretty? I love these colors, I think is what really, and there's these birds and some really pretty floral paper. So this is the one that other card was from. Then there's these birds. Some nice, like really nice background papers. And there's this one, like super soft blues and purples and pinks. More nice background. And then there's these birds, which are super easy to fussy cut and use. Or again, some really pretty florals. And I'm not usually a floral kind of gal. I don't know. I just like it. So as you can tell, You're like, why isn't there any cuts? I cheated and I used my brother's Scan and Cut to cut out my birds for me. Partly because I'm trying to learn how to use it, and partly because if I can use it instead of fussy cutting, I will, because that's kind of the lazy person I am. Then, I don't like fussy cutting. If it's just like the watermelon, little things, fine. But when it's got lots of details and stuff, maybe it's the perfection side of me. I like to have it cut with the even edge all the way around, whatever. So, I'm going to use the Love You More from the Heartfelt Hellos again. If I can find it, this one. And I'm going to heat emboss it in gold. Now, I'm doing this first. So in my sample, I ended up putting another piece of cardstock to have a flat area. You'll see what I mean. And I'm going to end up embossing with the words already on there, because I thought that's the best way to get the words nice and solidly on there. And then we need the Versamark. And I'm gonna kind of, this is where it's a guessing game as to where you put it, because I don't have anything else there. I could use all my pieces and parts to kind of figure it out, but I think I know basically about where it needs to be. We'll go with it and we'll see what happens. Okay, we'll get some of this extra gold here. I don't like how there's a lot of extra around that M, but it wants extra apparently. It's just, I find the metallic embossing powders, especially the gold, maybe it's just mine. Maybe it's old, left it out in the air too long, I don't know. But I find it doesn't melt as nicely as all like even the silver melts beautifully. And the gold I find is, like if I heat it too long, then it like goes matte. So I'm not sure. There's something up. I've been tempted to buy a new powder and see if it's just the powder that has decided. Oh, there we go. Nice and shiny, nice and gold. We're good. Okay, so now comes the embossing. I'm going to emboss. So I've showed you this technique before. I'm going to emboss with a die. Yeah, I'm going to emboss with a die instead of an embossing folder. So I've got my, ooh, oh no. I put my wet baby wipe on my card base and it transferred color. That's no good. I'm gonna have to find the white from, we'll use the white from the other one that we decided Pebble Path was the better way to go. Okay, so we have our base. Then we need a, ooh, I forgot the clear cutting plate. Hold please. So we need a clear plate. And then we need the die. This die is Gorgeous Gardens dies. It is in our annual catalog. It comes with there's two of them. That's one of them. Then I'm going to use my broken embossing. Oops, no, I'm not. I got to put my paper down. So before I put my paper down, I'm going to take my wet, maybe I shouldn't use this one or I'll get color. I'll do it on the back though, so it doesn't just wet it a bit because I will show you what happened. And we'll see, it might be because of the embossing. I'm not sure. We're going to find out. Yeah. See, that's just gonna, maybe I should tape it down. I didn't want that to move. Okay. Then we'll put our embossing mat here, and then we use the white embossing plates. They don't have the embossing set to go with this machine. This was with the, actually it was with this machine, but then they took it away. So I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back or why it's gone or what's happening. But it's not available. But you could, there are other embossing plates and stuff you can purchase for other machines that will work with this one. You just have to kind of fiddle around and figure out what sandwich does it best. But you can see, instead of cutting, it just embosses the background. So otherwise it would cut out leaves and you'd have holes in between all of these leaves. But I just wanted a embossed background. I could have used the stitched leaves, which I guess are retired now. So if people didn't have this, if you have the stitched leaves, that works really well. But if you were looking for an option that's available, this one is available. And you can cut or emboss with it, which makes it even more purposeful, right? And actually with the stitched leaves, I had shown not too long ago that you can, if you emboss the, because it just does, so you can see here, there's some buckling, and I thought it would solve it. I think it's just cutting, it's trying to cut through, but the one I originally did, I didn't wet at all, and it really kind of buckled a lot more, and the impression wasn't as good. So you can see the difference when you use a bit of wetness on your paper. It allows it to really stretch and move more. So just a note to do that. Okay, then I've got some die cuts here. I've got these little kind of wreath kind of things. This comes from the, thanks to Linda, I'm borrowing your stuff, the Lifetime of Love bundle. I didn't use the stamp set on this per se. I just used the die with the wreath because it just seemed like the perfect set to go with. So I cut this out twice. One of these I put the adhesive paper on, which is, I'm going to need my take a pic tool here to separate it because it's such a delicate, I glued my first one and I feel like I've got some glue in places I don't want it, and it's really hard to stick down the wreath part. So, oh my goodness, although it made it easier to cut off pieces I didn't want. Holy moly, this is like stuck down good. Okay, here we go. Got it. All right, so it pulls off the pieces we don't want. And then what I'm wanting is to have it on either side, but I don't want this top part, but I'm gonna first kind of lay it down. I'm gonna purposely not push down on the top part there, so it's still sticking up. And then I'm going to cut it here and here, so it's open, like so. Okay, and then guess what? I'm gonna put this here. Now, you could you could have left the circle there, but I'll show you in a sec. It ends up looking, because the circle kind of goes through the nice viney part. So I'm going to cut it right here. Right, so we'll go there to, oh, that's not where I was supposed to put it. There. What if we, yeah, I want to cut it here. Again, you could just put one on top of the other. I just found it looked funny having this piece here and then this piece on top, because then you get kind of that circle look. It's not, it's me. Like, it's totally, it's totally fine if that's the way you do it. It works. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it here. And then you can just put some, this one I don't have any adhesive on there. So, as you could see, the adhesive sheet definitely, where's my glue? I'm trying not to squeeze too hard because I don't want too much coming out, and it's a fairly full bottle, so I don't know why I'm having troubles. Okay, then we'll come in like so, and like so, and hold it down. Like so. Okay, so then we've got our I think I cut something off that I didn't mean to. Oh well, that's okay. It works. So then I take my little birds that I didn't cut out, that my machine cut out, and then we'll just put some dimensionals on the back. And maybe we'll put a couple smaller ones. Oopsie. Washi tape sticking everywhere. One there. Maybe one here. And maybe one up there. Somewhere. There. Okay. Then you add your birds so that, you know, the branch kind of matches your wreath. And then you've got this really pretty wreath. This would make a really pretty wedding card, I think. Right? So we'll bring in the finished card here. I added these embellishments, which when I was turning through the catalog, I never mentioned them. They are free as well. They're part of Celebration. It is another item that you can choose. It has, I want to say this is Calypso Coral, and then Pool Party and Pecan Pie. So I used the pecan pie to go with the branches. And it's super cute, right? So this is the one I was saying. I cut out the blues and then I cut out a white piece with the wreath and then put the insert of the white inside, because I hadn't stamped my sentiment beforehand and I didn't want it to be all wonky, but then you lose all that nice detailing. So I kind of like, I think I prefer it with, what do you think? With the leaves in the background or without, where it's flat? What do you think is better? With or without? Can you see that detail? I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, if you can, let me know what you think. I was leaning towards this, but now I don't know. And I think maybe layering the two wreaths, I don't know. Anyways, the leaves is nice. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so tomorrow, February 1st, we have the new, possibly the new celebration items coming out. And the old ones will still be there as long as the supplies last. And for demonstrators out there, it is the pre-order for the new online exclusives, which they showed a few of them on the back door, and they are to die for. I try to limit myself on those, especially the online, well, I try to limit myself on everything, but the online exclusives, I try and like just pick my one favorite kind of thing. And this is going to be hard this go round. So anyways, have a great rest of your week. I'm going to continue on, I think, next week with part 2 of last week's stuff with the Enduring Beauty, because I was having so much fun with that. I just wanted to showcase some of the celebration items that are available, since they're super fun and I needed to play with them. So this forces me to play with my stuff. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.